Hello, everyone. How are we doing? We are on the last full official week of March. Whoa, it has gone quick. It has gone fast. It's been out of control. So, want to hear from you guys. How is it going? Are you guys going into that next quarter guns a blazing? I know most of you are. We've kind of talked about it on some of the other posts. So you guys you're out there, you're crushing it, you're doing great. For those of you who are, you're scraping into the end of the quarter. You got this. You guys you're doing great. You made some great strides. I know some of you kind of had a slow start to the year, a slow start to the quarter, or if you're kind of like me, you kind of hit this lull in the middle of the quarter, right? In February was kind of just that really weird month. Not that things like stopped or set you back, but it definitely had that weird momentum where you kind of stop, go that traffic. So, getting back into the norm, getting back into the swing. You guys got this. You guys are crushing it. So keep up that amazing work. All right. So as we're talking about in our other posts right now, talking about that shift of really taking care of your people, not from necessarily from the toxic leadership side, but more we're talking about that what it actually means to balance your team with company organizational demands, right? So, the hot topic buttons in our society nowadays, that livable wage, that maximizing profits while maximizing employees, their retention, all that. So, one of the things I really wanted to talk about, really wanted to hit on with this was you kind of see this real big trend of job hopping, right? And this is not a bad thing depending on how you look at it, right? Um, Employees have now realized that it's not the same structure that our parents had or our parents had, where you get with a company, you work 20, 25, 30 years with them, and you retire out, right? A lot of organizations have started, they've set the tone that they're quick to get rid of you regardless of tenure, just as fast they are to hire you on. That's not good, bad, or indifferent, right? It's the shifting of the work culture and where we're at right now. So it's really, how do you navigate that? You as a leader, you want to ensure your people stay. They want tenure, right? So employees leave for various reasons, anything from pay to benefits to work at home opportunities, to new opportunities for growth and development, right? And it's up to you as the leader to kind of shape that, to help form that culture. There are going to be people that it's really beneficial for them to leave your organizational, not only for their growth but for your organization's growth, right? When you start hitting that kind of group think, that stagnation, the people, the 60 percenters, well, maybe it is okay for them to part ways. But others who are your stars, your workers, right? You want to shape them, you want to develop them, you want to grow them internally. So what does that look like? That means that you need to develop them from the leadership perspective and get them ready to take on additional roles. Now, here's where a lot of organizations fail when they're doing that. They have this cool technique where you have a star performer and you give them additional work. Hey, usually it's other people's work who are not pulling their weight, but you don't compensate them in any way. You don't acknowledge them. Or if you acknowledge them, it's a quick little, oh, hey, here's our employee of the month, high five, he did really good. And that, that's great at a base level, but when you're repetitively putting on more and more work and more responsibilities, but you're not giving them that compensation to go with it, of course they're going to jump ship. Here's what you've done: you have padded their resume for them. You gave them a lot of great experience, great things to put on there, put them in great leadership roles, and you give them great responsibilities. But now they feel undervalued there because you're like, okay, you gave me more, but you didn't advance my pay and benefits and other opportunities with that. So they're going to go find an organization that will, right? So you need to balance that, and a lot of business leaders, your struggle is, okay, well, you're trying to make the profits, you're trying to make the targets of the projects, if you've got a tight budget. So, there you have that draw, but that's why you're a leader. You're there to figure those issues out and work through them. And you know, there's a lot of people out here that are going to tell you, "Oh, I have the solution to that." This one size fits all solution doesn't work because every organization, every project, every individual is very unique. So you have to tailor it, right? So that's, good companies like Fraggle 22, that is exactly what we do. We tailor it to those individuals because we want your people to grow internally. We want you to develop your leaders who then develop those leaders, and you have an upward progression. Yes, you're going to lose some. Some are going to move to other organizations for growth. That is fine. You cannot be so afraid to invest into your people because one or two might leave. What you end up doing is you end up pushing a lot of people out that way because you're so afraid to lose $50 here that you're not saving the $5,000 there by growing these individuals and giving them those skills and then letting them advance into more responsibility, more leadership roles, and progressing to your organization. They're the ones who are going to develop the systems. They're the ones who are going to run their systems. And they're the ones who are going to train the next set of people. So if you're continuing fighting that fight of turnover, well, this is probably a contributing factor to that. So definitely going to have more talks on this. Definitely going to keep pushing this because it's a discussion that needs to be had. And then along with it, right, there's other factors out there, cost of living and where you're at and the type of work you're doing. So there's many, many, many factors that go into this. It's not just a, hey, it's an organizational problem or a worker problem. It's a very complex issue. And it's one that you can't solve overnight. You're not going to solve with one or two of these little talks, but it's definitely one that we could work towards, and we have a solution, and we put the systems in place to get you there where you need to be. So definitely want to hear from you guys. What are some of the things you're struggling with? Also, what are the things that have worked great in your organizations? Some of you have really, really great leaders out there doing really good things. So let's talk about their victories. Let's talk about your victories. I want to hear the things that are working for you guys and how you've set the pace in your organizations to get things back on track and to get people excited and motivated to work and do their best work because they're comfortable knowing that they're going to be taken care of and they're going to grow within the organization. All right, guys, keep crushing it. Let's get ready to go into this next quarter strong. Let's finish out this week strong. And, you guys got it. Stay good.